Hello everyone, my name is Liv Bigaboful, and today I'm going to be talking about a good feel. Since the last feel video I made, it was just basically about a bad feel. And this feel was recent. This feel happened before winter break, and it's kind of a good memory to have. So I'm just going to show you the cast. Well, not really the cast, but like an overview of all the characters that took place in this feel. So I'm going to just let you read the names one by one. I'm going to slowly go down. And I censored most of the names mainly because if the people do watch this video, I don't want them to feel offended in how I drove them or like get in trouble, because I don't want to get in trouble and I don't want to read that thing that I was supposed to do. Okay, so just to give you a brief overview on this whole field story, our English teacher was giving us a book that was around 200 pages, and he told us to read it for a college class that was coming over to our school. And in order for us to complete the project with the college students, we were supposed to read the book and discuss it. So as you see in the text, he says, don't forget to read. You have winter break to complete it. Now I'm looking over at my friends, and we sit in the back of the class, and normally we just talk around and do normal shit, but they're just Beard and Ice just have these goofy faces saying, I already know it. And I'm just like, shit. The reason why I say shit is because Ice has this older sister who read the book in college, so he could just ask her for information. And apparently Beard read the book a long time ago. So I'm wondering, could they help me out? Of course, knowing my friends, they wouldn't help me out. But after that day, winter break comes. And just like that, winter break ends, and just a little hint, I didn't read shit. Coming back to school, we are visited by one of the college students, and since I can't draw perfectly, I tried to doodle her. She is whitish with blonde hair. I think I hit that spot perfectly, and the joke I made here was like, she was a Jehovah's Witness. And the reason why I say a Jehovah's Witness is because once one person comes to visit, you just get more people coming in your door. So she was like a Jehovah's Witness. So when she came over to our class, I thought she was going to discuss about the book that our English teacher gave us to discuss. But she was reading about a different book. And here's a hint. It's not that hard. They made it into a movie called Easy A. That's like the biggest hint I can give out there. But yeah, she was just talking about that book, so I'm wondering, are we just going to skip over the book that we were supposed to read? Turns out, the other college students were going to be coming in next week, or in 2 weeks from January, when we came back to school. So my whole Jehovah's Witness joke was actually coming into a realization, because 3 days later, she brings 2 more friends. So you have Charlie's Angels come into class, and like, our English teacher is kind of a pushover. Like, I don't like it, but it's true. Like, you just have 3 of them teaching now, since they're visitors. You can't be rude to guests, so you let the guests take over. So you just have our English teacher just in the corner, like, if you want help, I can help you. It's like, I mean, if you want me to say this point, I could say it. It's like, you just have these 3 teaching class, and on one of the days, they wanted us to do an essay on the book that we were reading. And knowing me, Beard, and Ice, we always talk about random bullshit whenever in the back of the classroom. We barely do work, but when it came to it, we fucking flipped pancakes. Like, we gave the biggest bullshit whenever we wrote papers. So the first college student comes over when we're just talking and not doing the work, and she's like, oh, you guys should separate because you guys aren't really focusing on the work at hand. And then you have our English teacher that comes out of nowhere, and he's like, oh yeah, well, I agree with you. I feel like you guys should be separated like a long time ago. And like, Beard was like, what you say, teacher? And he was like, oh, nothing. She was just talking about how you guys should be separated, and I thought that she was right. And then we were just like, okay, we'll do the work. Turns out we finished the essay before anybody else, and we just wrote random bullshit. We didn't even read the book. We didn't even read most of the book, and we still did a paper on it. So we handed in the paper, and before anybody else. And it's funny because one of the college students right here, her exactly right here, she would go to ICE and she asked him about the paper, and we told her that ICE is a big 3 Days Grace fan, so he tried to compare it to one of their songs called Pain. And me and Beard were just laughing our asses off because she kept calling ICE 3 Days Grace, so that was a good laugh. Just imagine one of your friends getting humiliated every time they saw a random person that they didn't know. It's a pretty good feel. Pretty good feel. But then, after a couple of days, we realized that the dreaded day had to come, but we didn't know what to expect of it. So, we waited and waited, and then one day, our classroom was closed. There was a notice on the window of the door that said classroom closed. English honor students go to the library. So I'm like, no, this can't be it. This I can't do this. They gave us like a month and I still haven't read the book. So I'm like, okay, let me go to the library and see what's up. Our librarian was like a security officer letting students go in the classroom. Well, not in the classroom, but into the library. And I was just like, okay, I guess there's a class in there that I'm supposed to go to. And he's just like checking people's IDs, saying if you got this class or that class. I'm just like, oh my fucking gosh. This can't be true. This can't be it. I'm not ready. My body isn't ready. My butthole was clenched when I opened that door. So me and Ice go through the door and we just see a whole class of high school students and we're just like, we're fucked. Done, kid. Like, I'm panicking. Ice is like, he thinks about something, but then, like, just to calm me down, he does a little snap. And he's like, nope. Nope. And then he puts this ridiculous smile on his face and he whispers, hey Devin, you ready for my class? Get ready for bullshit 101. I just look at him and I'm like, this isn't the time for that. So, after looking around the whole library, we find one table. We just pick a random table out of all of them. We sit by this table with this one guy, with this one college student, and we look around the class and I'm just thinking, alright, so it's me and Ice, and this one guy who's read the book. And there's nobody else in our table that has come. We're fucked. I look around the classroom and like 5 minutes later, one of our friends, Bond, comes in. And this is a good feel because I know he read the book. And he happens to pick the table we're sitting in. So I have this smile on my face and I'm like, oh my god, this is such a good feel. So, for Beard, on the other hand, he's in Eastern Territory. He's just having a good time with his carpet, or whatever you want to call it. He's just having a good time. The reason why I say he's in Eastern Territory is because of an inside joke that I'm not explaining. I just don't want to explain it. I don't deserve to explain it. And that's it. It's my video. So later you have the college professor coming in. And he's like, welcome high school students. The college students you are now sitting with are now your partners for this whole week, so please get acquainted. So the first day was just introduction. Me, Ice, and Bond introduced ourselves to Bran, who talked about the book a little bit, but we got to know each other. Like, for example, we asked where he lived and how the college students were able to stay in New York. And he mentioned that if you had any roommates or friends that were in New York, you just get to live with them for the whole week. So I thought that was actually pretty cool. We started talking about the college he went to, just random stuff so that we can get off the subject of the book. And like I said, for Beard, he never explained to me like what he was talking about. And remember, me and Ice haven't read the book. So just keep that in mind throughout this whole process. Second day comes, we have to write about our thoughts on the book. So what I did and what Ice did was we opened the book for like the first 3 pages we read. That's all we read, 3 pages. And we talk about how the book relates to our society. We just tell Brand that, and then he helps us make that into a paragraph because they don't want it into an essay yet. They just want everything in a paragraph. And then the third day, I'm just gonna skip by days because I'm trying to waste time or whatever. The third day was about theming. So, what is theming for this class, you might think? Well, you're supposed to say one theme that you believe that is possible in the book. So, for example, you could say either irony, dreams, drugs, whatever. So, I say mine, and the professor goes for like 2 minutes on my example of irony. And then you have ice. And remember, I told you, he said bullshit 101. So I got ready. I looked at him and I smiled. The same smile like this. It was that smile. I'm just grinning at him, doing a dumb face. Everybody else is looking serious. I'm just smiling at him. I just want to know what he's going to say. And then he says something about dreams, and the professor goes on for 10 minutes. Like, he goes on this rant, like for 10 straight minutes about what he said. And I'm just smiling at him. Remember, I'm still smiling at him. Everybody's wondering why I'm smiling at him. But he's just looking bad at me. And he's like, yo, I told you. I told you. He just has that goofy look on his face. And I'm just starstruck. I'm like, wow. Damn. So then, yeah, after the third day comes the fourth day, of course. And this tripod is really not helping me. Fourth day, Brand gives us a quote. And the professor says the essay is due next week. And next week is Regents Week. So that means that we have 4 days of free time in order to get this essay done. So I do what any other person does. I do it last second. But since there's 5 days in the week, I can't skip ahead. Fifth day comes. Basically, it's just food. They just give food. I talk to Ice about, like, what are we gonna do for the last day, and then we walk into class, and there's just like a whole circle of seats, and I'm just like, yo, if they want us to fucking share, I'm gonna go to the nurse. Like, the seats were arranged like if we were in an intervention. I shitted myself literally, because I thought, and they said put your books away, so I'm like, why are we putting our books away and we're sitting in a big ass circle? Turns out it was just a group exercise to talk about how the experience was and blah blah blah. So you see me in Regents Week now. I'm prepared. I'm just trying to get this essay done. I still haven't read the book. Which is the funny part. So I spend my whole Tuesday writing the essay, and I finish it at 12 o'clock, well, 12:01 a.m. Wednesday night, and I send that into the internet. I send it to my college, the college student, and it was me, Ice, and Beard. Well, actually, no, it was just me and Ice that wrote the essay and sent it on Tuesday. And remember, we didn't read the book, and we finished it before anybody else. We did the essay before anyone else. We committed to most of the work in that whole week, and we still haven't read the book. So we send in, like, I wrote a half-assed essay, and then Ice Facebook messaged me on, what was it, like, the day, like, maybe Monday? Yeah, it was on Monday in Regents Week, where he said, get ready for my bullshit. And then he sent me this whole, like, 3 pages worth of, like, of an essay. And I'm just like, yo, are you serious? Like, did you read the book? He was like, nope. And I just look at what he wrote. I didn't read it because I didn't want to cheat. But I'm just like, if he can pull that off in 3 pages, I should be able to at least do 1 page. And then coming back to school, everybody didn't do their essay. So I did the scumbag. I told the principal that people barely did it. She got butthurt. I was smiling. I was like, you gotta tell them to do that essay because, it's not fair. And it really wasn't fair because those students probably wanted a teaching degree. So they needed that essay in order to advance in that class. So I feel like a good guy and a bad guy, but you know what? I don't give a fuck because I did the essay. Everybody else got butthurt. I knew a girl that was in my class. She read the book. She didn't do the essay, and I'm just like, yo, are you fucking serious? And she was like, I don't care. I'm not gonna do it. So that's why I told the principal. I was like, yo, fuck that. Don't let me do all that work. I didn't read the book. I finished it. I had to go through bullshit 101. Oh yeah, and just a reminder, that's why you need friends like Ice. Cause you just bullshit your way through high school. That's basically the gist of it. Bullshit your way through high school and you win. That's it. You just fucking win. But yeah, that concludes my whole field story. I wasn't that interesting, but like, not reading a 200-page book and participating in a whole week's worth of college, I want to say a college class, but it really wasn't. It was just like a college experience. There we go. Doing a whole week of college experience work and doing better than most of the people that actually did read the book. That's actually a good feel. So subscribe to Silent Stereos and subscribe to Bobby Egg Salad. And a video I might link in is Bobby Egg Salad, Shrek is Love. Cool. As I drop my pen. Bobby Egg Salad is actually a cool friend of mine that actually does cool drawings like this. Also did a cool video called Shrek is Love. Shrek is Life. I love you. And we never told anybody about us not reading the book. We only told like 2 friends that were in the class. And they were shocked, but not really. And Ice and I agreed that we would tell the assistant principal that we didn't read the book at like the end of the school year to just for shits and giggles. Cause, I mean, bullshit 101. What can you do?